Okay. How many people in this room had breakfast this morning? That's a good number of people, but not everyone. I didn't have breakfast this morning. Even though we just got an extra hour in the morning, I still was running late, running around grabbing all my school stuff. And I feel like that's how so much of our time is spent. And we're focusing on what do I have to do next? What do I have to prepare for the next big event? I feel like society is so much about let's move and get going and let's accomplish something. Today, I'm going to submit that that what really builds happiness is not so much the accomplishments that you obtain, but the time that you spend in an enjoyable fashion with friends and family and loved ones. I'm going to give you a couple examples from my own life. I'm going to talk about my high school soccer team. I'm going to talk about my microbiology study group, and I'm going to talk about my best friend from elementary school named Stephanie. For my soccer team, I went to Fountain Valley High School, and I was on the varsity soccer team for 4 years. And my sophomore year, we had such an excellent team that we actually won the CIF finals. That was the first time that Fountain Valley girls soccer had ever done that. It was the first time in 14 years that we had progressed on to postseason. So this was a major accomplishment for us. But when I go back and I think of my soccer team back in Fountain Valley, I don't really remember that. I don't think, oh, what a great accomplishment that was for us. I remember all those practices. I remember all our team parties. I remember toilet papering our rival's house and getting caught by the cops. What mattered to me on that team was the friendships I built and the time we spent together, and not so much that great accomplishment that we had. That's really what made me the happiest. And that's progressed on to today. Right now I am taking microbiology here at the college, and it's a really intensive class. We meet for 10 hours, and there's an exam, or there's lab books due, or there's constantly all this work going on. And I'm doing very well in this class, but what makes me happy in this class is not so much my grades when I get them back, but the time that I'm chatting with my micro study group. Every day we have an exam. We all meet in the cafeteria for 10 hours, and we sit there. Yeah, we're studying, but we're mostly making jokes about our professor and making nerdy microbiology jokes and teasing each other. And I know that when I move on from this class, I'm going to have the grade that I had, but what I'm really going to remember, besides hopefully some of the content of the course, is the friends that I made in this class. And just like I'll remember these friends, I remember my friend Stephanie, who's my best friend in elementary school. And we did all the fun things that parents have their kids do in elementary school. We played on soccer teams together. We went to museums. We went to Disneyland. We did all this fun stuff together. And when she died in a car crash after 7th grade, what I remember about her the most and what I missed the most was the time that I spent with her passing notes in class and just kind of chatting at practice, and that's really what I miss the most, and not doing events with her or going different places. So even though we're pressed to do things, to be places, to accomplish things, I think really what matters the most is the time enjoying things like people, like a wonderful breakfast, like some guy named Gunther. What's this in mine? Some guy named Gunther who said, all happiness depends on a leisurely breakfast. I really think it's time spent enjoying yourself and enjoying people that you love is what's going to get you happiness, and not so much your accomplishments.
I haven't taken my science classes yet.
Yeah, good luck.
I have to physical and life. So I'm going to take anatomy for life, and I'm going to do my lab for that too. For anatomy. Is that for physical? Astronomy talk for physical?
All right, Megan, I thought most of the things you did were really fine. I do think saving the quote for the end. Somebody did that earlier, and it worked out pretty well. It was okay here in this situation, too, because you have a pretty clear thesis statement, and now you're just using the quote as kind of your exit, and it's okay. I think I would prefer hearing it at the beginning, but I didn't think that it was a big problem. I thought there was an excellent structure and preview of what the content was going to be. You did a good job supporting the points that you had. You talked about them in a natural way. You gave a personal perspective on all of those points. That worked really nicely. The presentation issues are all really solid. Gestures, sometimes they're a little bit repetitive, but you do seem animated and involved while you're speaking. On your body movement, most of your body movement is basically changing the orientation of the body, and that's pretty good. Maybe you could step up or to one side or the other occasionally, but that's a minor quibble. Everything else was really solid. Thank you.